Alright, yo, so I was reading Psalms the other night and this really hit me in my heart and I thought I'd share it with y'all. We often talk about God's will and the understanding of how we should be submitted to God's timing. As I was reading a verse about waiting upon the Lord, it really hit me what it really means to wait upon the Lord, and it really made more sense why we ought to wait upon the Lord. I think about the part in the Lord's Prayer where Jesus talks about letting the Lord have his way on this earth as he does in heaven. And I just came to you all the other day speaking about in Psalms 23 where the Lord talks about how he does everything for his name's sake. And so if everything in this life is for the glory of God, if everything in this life is by his will and by his way, why would we be rushing to do things outside of him? To wait upon the Lord is not to sit and do nothing, but to be willing to be submitted to his spirit and led by him to do his will and his work. Because if everything we were doing in this life is for him, why would we be going out of our way to rush and make a product of something that will not be exactly what he called it to be? It's almost like if we went to a deli and we asked somebody to make us a sandwich and they went ahead and formed the sandwich without letting us tell them what we wanted on it. Be patient. Wait, listen. It's not that God isn't going to let your hands put anything to work, but you have to understand where he has called you to work. You have to understand what ingredients he's called for you to put on that sandwich, man. And sometimes we be rushing, we be going too fast, and we'll end up putting too much, too little, or not what we've been called to put on top of that sandwich, and it will be an incomplete product. When at the end of the day, the product is supposed to be made for his glory and his name. And so why are we rushing through life when we've been called to be patient and wait and make a product that is supposed to glorify his name? If all that we're doing is for him, then we must learn to wait and be patient, because the end goal, the end product is supposed to be to his glory, not for ours. Amen.